Today we will be reviewing a silver 4 DPS named Draco, who plays the first half of the game on Sojourn and the second half on Soldier. I think this player showcases all the most common mistakes for DPS players, and has great potential if they just clean up their positioning a little bit. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, we've got our next replay. We're looking at Draco, silver 4 DPS, like I said in the intro. He's playing Sojourn, and then I think there's some Soldier later here. And he's got the Mercy pocket, so let's just get right into this. Another game on Servasa. Right away, I'm kind of asking myself, where's your tank, right? And you should be asking yourself the same question. You're probably fine, right? This is silver. No one's usually going to just insta-kill you. But if you can let your tank go in front of you, that's good. And in general, you're going to want to be taking off angles and pressuring from multiple points. So like if your Junker Queen's going in on one way, you might want to find some high ground to pressure from, or take a slightly different angle, right? If your Junker Queen is going to push in here, maybe you want to sit here and shoot, or maybe, I mean, this point's a bad example, but we'll see later on. You said this is a good game for you, but not sure what to look out for, so we're just going to kind of look out for everything, right? Right, and nothing's happened, but I want to point out our positioning is very risky right now, because you're maybe just the focus of too many people. And while you should be fine, because you're probably not used to getting killed very quickly, this usually is not good for you in higher ranks when you're not really, near cover, your slide's on cooldown, and you're not really behind your tank. So I just want to point that out. I mean, I think you're gonna be fine. But it's not a habit we want to get into where we have no escape, we're not on cover, and we're looking at multiple enemies, right? Right. Okay. So I think positioning is going to be a really big thing here. There's a tiny bit of target focus. I know I'm kind of overloading it with info right away, right? But if we get to pick who we want to kill, would we rather kill this Ana or this Torb? We'd rather kill the Ana, always. If you can get the supports, get the supports. So instead of shooting the Torb, I know his hitbox is a little bit bigger, shoot this Ana right here, for sure. You have the right gameplay loop though of using your rail to charge up, and then, or not your rail, but using your alternate fire to charge up your rail and then shooting at the end, trying to get that finish. But you should just be going for the Ana here. That's a better slide, right? Sliding away from the combat when you get weak. Nice try on the rail. But when you're weak, or like when you were antied earlier, you want to slide away from the combat, not towards it. But this is all good. This was fine. Obviously, there's going to be some aim problems, but that's something you're just going to have to practice over time. I can't coach your aim. I can give you some tips. Okay, yeah, so positioning is going to be the thing. Why do you think it's not a good idea to do what you're doing right now? And even if it works out, right? Even if it works out and you get this diva, which you are almost certainly going to get this diva, right? Is because you've used your slide. And if their team comes around the corner, you might just die here. And the thing is that their team's not here because this is silver. And honestly, who knows where in the world their team is. But you want to build habits that don't only work in your games, but work in the games you're going to want to be in, right? If you want to climb to gold and be a gold player, you need to have habits that will help you in gold as well, or else you're gonna have to relearn the game every rank. So when you use your slide here, sure, you get behind the diva and make it easier to kill her, but you also put your back to where the enemy is most likely to come through, right? If their tank came through this door, you kind of have to assume the rest of their team will, even if in this case they don't. So just something to think about, something to watch out for. This might work, but that doesn't make it good, right? We have no escape and we're behind their tank, which usually means we're in between their team. Right, you've got a Torb on you. Yep, good slide. And you do well that fight, but that won't work. And outside of silver. And maybe it works in gold, but I don't even think it works in gold. Your slide is mainly used to save yourself. Right, again, sliding forward when we don't need to. And this time our supports don't come with us, right? So the last couple times you've slid into the enemy team, your supports have gone with you. They've helped you. But this time they weren't able to, for whatever reason. Our Mercy is just too far. She just can't fight you, right? And our Lucio's on point. And so you get no support here and die when you don't need to make this play. I get you're, trying to pop off, or you think you can hit the shots, or you think your Mercy's gonna come with you, but this just isn't necessary. So you're gonna die for no reason. Okay, your team is dead, all running back from spawn. You just need to not go in here. Yeah, that's fine. Now just wait for your supports. Again, sliding forward, right? This is a habit that you're gonna need to stop. This will get you killed. Not in this fight, but in the future. Right, you get bailed out by the beat. But if that beat doesn't come, you're probably dead, right? Why? Because we're in front of a bastion with no cover and no cooldowns. You don't want to be in that spot. You have to think about it. The good news for you though is that it's a really easy problem to fix, right? When you're trying to fight this bastion, you can just shoot him here around this corner. And when he goes tank form, you sit right here and you're fine. Right? You don't need to be out in the open. You can shoot him while, being right next to cover. It's not going to make your aim any worse, right? You're going to do the same amount of damage with just much less risk. So let's see how this goes. If we keep using the slide offensively, I'm probably just going to stop talking about it because there's no point. Like, you in the replay can't hear what I say and react to it, right? So I'm like, you need to stop using your slide offensively. In the replay, obviously, you're not going to change your gameplay. This has all already happened. So I'm not going to just keep repeating myself over and over and over. Just, it's something to keep in mind. When you slide into the enemy team, it's usually not good. Nice job. Barely gets away, but you do. And this is better, right? You're fighting, like, why might this be better? Why might I say this is better? You're fighting one target isolated and you have cover from the rest of them, right? So while you fight this diva, this wall protects you from anyone who might be on point. And the thing is that no one on point is even going to shoot you right now because there's only one person on point and he's occupied. The rest of the fight's going on way out here. But you're doing the right thing, you're taking isolated targets, you're staying behind cover from the rest of the people you're not fighting. This is good. Nice, and you shoot the soldier. I was gonna say you charge up your rail on the big targets and then you try and kill a squishy with it if you can. Sometimes you just have to keep rail, like you have to charge up rail and then shoot rail on the tank, but sometimes you can just charge up your rail on the tank and then fire it at a squishy. That's a great thing to get in the habit of doing. Nice try on the slide. I think if you're a little more comfortable with it, you get over the wall here. Or you can even turn around, like physically turn around and slide out and get out. But you had the right idea, right? You realized that there's too much heat, too many people looking at you. Your Mercy's not going to be able to keep you up through 4 people, 4 people's worth of damage. And then you just slide out, get away, live to fight another day, right? Yeah, and you're definitely over the wall. I think you just got stuck up a little bit on something and forgot to hold the S key. So nice try, but you could live here too, right? So that's 2 deaths so far, and both times you could have lived, in my opinion. All right, we have a Zarya now. We have overclock. There's not really like one best use case for overclock, right? It's kind of one of these ults where you just use it when you think you're gonna be able to get value from it. And so the only thing, okay, let me explain a little bit more. When I say get value from it, the thing you should think about is what might prevent me from getting value from it. Well, besides just missing your shots, heroes on the enemy team are going to try and prevent you from getting value from your ult, right? That's kind of their, one of their jobs. And so the biggest thing is that they have a diva, right? And if you use overclock when diva has her entire matrix, that's something that's going to prevent you from getting value. So that's something you want to look out for. Maybe if the diva is like low, or if you notice she uses a whole bunch of matrix, then you pop your overclock, right? That's something to think about. We waste slide here, right? There's just absolutely no reason to slide, and you're not even sliding into the enemy team. You're just like sliding in general. And you're probably dead here because this Bastion ults, and instead of sliding out of it, because you slid before the Bastion even ulted, right? Let's take a look at this a little bit slower.
I've got you in my sights.
I guess maybe you slide to get to cover from the soldier, you know, and in this context, maybe it is good, right? You slide to get out of the visor. So I take back what I said, it's fine. But if you're playing around cover anyways, you don't have to use your slide here. You can save your slide so that you can get out of this Bastion ult, because now you're just going to die here. Yeah, and you are dead. And your team dies anyways, so I don't think it really would have mattered, even if you did save your slide for Bastion ult, because your team dies and you lose the fight anyways, right? This isn't a fight that you could have changed by playing better, but maybe in the future you have teammates that are good enough to not die to these ults, and then you don't want to be the only one who does die. But let's not get too caught up on that. You use your slide to get out of the visor. I understand that. That's okay. This is the last fight on this point. Oh wow, we are in there. Okay, I'm gonna back up. Just take this in one more time.
This ends now.
So the thing I want to say about this, well, one, we're doing the thing that I keep talking about. I've talked about 10 times in the last 10 minutes. You know, sliding into the team, not good. The other actual big problem I have with this is that we don't even know what we're overclocking for yet, right? Of course we want to like just shoot the squishies, duh, what do you do with overclock? But when you use this slide here to get over this wall, you don't even have any idea where the enemy is over this wall. You have no clue, right? So when you pop this overclock, you don't even know where they're gonna be, you know, what cooldowns they have, how you're gonna get these kills. Like, what if you slid in here, landed here, and like Bastion turns around, hits you with a nade, and then, you know, Kiriko gets one lucky headshot on you. You're dead in the middle of their team, and you wasted your ult. You need to be looking to set up these ults in safer positions where you know what you're getting into, and you can get value. Even if you kill 5 here, that doesn't make this ult good in theory. It makes it good in practice. You will win the fight with it, but that's because the enemy team doesn't know how to react, not because it's a good ult from you. If this diva is better, right? If this is a gold diva or a platinum diva, she will shut down this ult. If this is a, you know, a better Bastion, maybe he stops shooting the Lucio and starts shooting you, and you will die. So you need to get rid of this habit. We end up not really getting value out of it anyways, but that was kind of more of an aim thing, right? You had plenty of chances to get kills, and sometimes you just whiff, and I understand that. That happens at every level. Of course, aim gets better as you move up. Even there are players with your game sense knowledge. So game sense is just stuff that's not mechanical, stuff that's not aiming. There are players who have your game sense, where they're just, you know, kind of diving into the enemy team on characters that can't afford to do that, but have better aim than you, that kill 3 people there. They'll just kill 3 people, and those people will be in higher ranks than you. And you're like, well, they're doing it, and they're obviously in higher rank, so my aim is holding me back. And what I want to say is that you can be in the same rank as players like that with your aim, as long as you just play smarter and don't die as much, don't make silly mistakes, don't waste your slide. And so I don't want anyone to get caught in the trap of thinking their aim is the thing holding them back. Because while with better aim, yes, you can get kills there and win the fight, it doesn't matter because you can also climb just by making better decisions, and that's going to help you in the long run, whereas your aim is going to cap out at some point and you're just not going to be able to get better. Yep. But we died there again. That is a death we could have prevented. We did not have to die there. You know, we didn't even have to be in that position. We could have been outside the point. We could have been, you know, doing what this Bastion is doing. We could have been over here. We could have been anywhere, right? With a mercy pocket, we don't need to be in the middle of the point. That's what our tank is for. But your tank dies anyways this fight. You guys lose. On to the next fight. Next point. All right, we're on Soldier now. The idea is the same. You want to be on off angles. You want to be on the high ground. Nice. Little notification there. Nice try. We waste our heal. That happens a ton. I see this with like plant soldiers. They'll just literally pop their heal for no reason. This thing is on an 18-second cooldown, man. You cannot afford to do this. I'm gonna point it out every single time it happens. You want to use your heal when you know you're taking like pressure and you want to sustain your angles. And so the thing is that first of all, soldier, you should be running up here or over here, and you want to stay up here as long as you can. It's super oppressive when they're trying to cap the point and you're up here, and their diva is likely to fly to contest you. And when diva contests you, that's when you put your heal down. And the good news for you is that you've had a mercy pocket almost this entire game, so you might not even need to use your heal when the diva contests you. You might just be able to melt her down. But your first mistake in this fight is not going to the high ground. Your second mistake is wasting heal, right? So it's been 10 seconds. We're already kind of fundamentally misunderstanding the character that we're playing. We need to be on the high ground. We need to be on an off angle pretty much at all times. There's never a time when you don't want to do that. Nice job getting to cover, but then we kind of forget about cover, right? And we run around this side of the fountain chasing kills. And again, I'm gonna say it again, right? These people, if they're better, kill us there. They just kill us. Like, let's look at this from their Bastion's perspective, right? Right? Bastion shooting you the entire time. The entire time you do that. Their Kiriko is trying to shoot you. I mean, not quite as good, but she's trying to shoot you the entire time you do that. Their soldier. Let's watch again. Their soldier could be shooting you the entire time you do that. And you see what I mean? Better players are going to shoot you there and you're going to die. You don't have to go on that side of the fountain. You know, think about cover. It seems to be a recurring theme. We need to use cover. We need to be on the high ground. We need to be on off angles. You need to think about this every time you play soldier, every time you play Sojourn. This heal is good. It's going to keep us alive. We have a bunch of pressure on us right now. But you know what would keep us alive better? Walking behind this fountain. That will do a lot more. Because look at this angle right now. You see why this is dangerous. You see why I don't have to explain why you can die here. And so while this heal is good, it's better to just walk behind cover. Or better yet, if you're up here, you might not even need to heal because you can just back up and they can't shoot you. That's okay. I'd like to see you use that helix sooner to try and finish off that kill. As soon as you notice he's about a third HP, go for that helix. It's on a short cooldown, so it's good to kind of spam that out. But otherwise, that was fine. Your tracking was okay. Not really too much to say about it, right? And this time, at least we're staying on the far side of the fountain. We don't really need our heal there, but we're kind of on cleanup, so it doesn't really matter, right? And we win that fight not because of anything we do, right? Well, you get a lot of damage in that fight, and that's gonna help you win the fight. But imagine how much easier it is if you're on an angle where they're not able to pressure you, and you're able to just sit there. Sometimes you can literally even just stand still and do basically Kovacs on the enemy team, and that's what we're looking for. All right, this visor could be huge, could also be an absolute flop. It depends on their diva, who just switched to a Narissa. So now it's going to be much easier for you to get value with your visor. What I don't want to see is you just pop visor and sprint into the middle of the enemy team. You have aimbot. You have literal aimbot. As long as you're not super far away to where your damage fall off is going to be horrible, you can be farther away from the enemy team because you're going to hit every shot. And the farther away you are from them, the harder it is for them to hit you. Right? If you pop visor and you sprint inside the Bastion's hitbox, it's going to be really easy for them to kill you. So that's what we want to look out for. It's something you want to think about, right? You have aimbot. You do not need to be inside of them. All right, we waste heal again. We really need to stop doing that. And it's time to back up, right? We're a long range hero. First of all, like I said earlier, we should be on the high ground, but ignoring that, we're not the tank. Right? We don't need it. Where is our tank, by the way? Okay, what the actual hell? Anyways, we're not the tank, and you want to keep your distance. Like in general, you want to keep your distance on soldier. So as they get closer to you, you should get farther away from them. So I'm gonna open up an app here and show you exactly what I mean with this. All right, so if we're standing here, right? And the enemy team is pushing us from here. This is okay. This is a good distance. It's maybe still a little too close, but you have this kind of gap between you and the nearest enemy. And that's good. You like that gap. You're still doing your maximum damage. Well, it's usually harder for them to hit you. In this case, they have Soldier Bastion, so they don't really mind. I mean, Bastion wants to be a little closer, but this is a good gap for you. As they push in, let's say they move up to here, you're going to want to move back this exact amount. So you're going to take this line and you're going to want to move back roughly this far, right? As they get closer to you, you get farther from them, and you just keep repeating that. If you stay here the whole time, right? If you stay here and they push all the way up to this corner, imagine how easy it is for them to kill you. Orisa walks around the corner, Bastion walks around the corner, Soldier peeks you here, you're not going to get away, and it's way too far to run to any new cover. So the whole time you need to be backing up as they get closer. Right? That's kind of the whole idea. We're on a mid-range character. Sometimes you can even call him a long-range character. Depends on the play style, I guess. But I would just recommend staying on the high ground, you know, backing up when they push you. Ooh. Yeah, that was not good, was it? Man, our Zarya hits a nice grab. The rest of our team, this is a lesson to Zarya, the rest of your team is not really ready to follow up on this, right? Our Junkrat's going to be our main source of damage into that grav, and he's obviously not ready, and we're dueling the Soldier and the Bastion while the Orisa can see us, right? Imagine, let's just say we played here, like our Junkrat. Now the Orisa can't see us. Let's say we played here. Now the Bastion can't see us. Let's say we played, you know, here. Now we have a better angle on the Orisa, and, you know, their DPS can't see us. You want to kind of isolate these fights if you can. And so the Bastion dies. We do most of the work on that Bastion. That's good. We turn our attention to Soldier, but we really need to be closer to cover. If we're not going to play here, if we're not going to play here, if we're not going to play here, we have to be using this cover, because when he activates Visor, now we have nowhere to go, right? It needs to be second nature to you. And so you do, I mean, pretty much the worst thing possible in this scenario, which is popping your own Visor while eating his Visor directly to the face, right? And you wait until you're like roughly 60 HP to use Visor. And what you could have done, even if you were going to make this Visor play, is while he's shooting you, you go here, you pop Visor, you get, you know, 1 second of healing, your Lucio is amping it up, your Mercy is heal beaming you. You have a double pocket right now. If you just sit here, pop Visor, wait 1 second for heal, pop out, you kill this guy. It's free. It's actually free. You get this kill, you probably get at least one more kill with Visor too, because you have a Mercy damage boost after you get healed. But instead, we stand in the open the entire time. We take all of this damage, we die, and we waste our roll, right? Right? I mean, we did everything wrong that fight. Imagine instead of your tank dying and their Soldier dying, you kill their Soldier and then you go on and kill a support, and now you're in a 5v3. That could have been what happened. But we're gonna lose this fight. So I just kind of want you to see, you know, I know I've been kind of railing on you, but with these small improvements, just using cover, being on the high ground, we easily win that fight. And we take that point right here. And right now it would be 2-0. And you don't have to take this point anymore. But you have to, because that's not how the fight went. And that's okay. Everyone has to improve at something. Good heal. We're a little too close for, you know, a little too close for my comfort. But it seems to be okay because the rest of their team isn't, you know, right on top of their Orisa. We do need to be careful of this Bastional. I'm not really sure what this is. But it's very easy for us to get Bastion ulted here. So we need to be ready to sprint. If Bastion ult lands on us, we're sprinting instantly. Yep, that's good. And we're going to win this fight. Our team absolutely carries us this fight. You don't die, which is fine, but you don't do anything either, right? If that Junkrat tire doesn't happen, maybe you're going to want to rotate here and get a better angle and be able to get kills. But that's not what happens. So we're going to win this fight, which is also going to help us win this point. And it would have been... yeah, it would have been 2-1. Sorry, I misspoke. If you had won this fight before, rather than 2-0. But you are going to win this. Now it's 2-1. So the outcome is still the same. However, we could have done it in one less fight. And imagine if we lost that last fight, we would have lost that point, and then that could have lost to us losing the game. It's kind of just a big snowball effect. You want to win as many fights as possible because that's how you're going to win the game. So anytime we make a mistake that loses us the fight, that's what I'm going to focus on. That's what I'm going to point out. Okay, we just tank 5 people's damage and die. We're probably getting rezzed here. But the thing is that you could have actually just killed that Junkrat a bunch of time. I mean, you had Helix the entire time. I don't think you used Helix once you got it back. So we have Helix back right now. We're 200 HP and we could use it at any time. And we take 2 Junkrat mines right to the face. Let's see if we get res here. We do. And so hopefully in game you think about things like this, right? I just face tanked a Junkrat and died. Let's not do that again, right? I don't want to die to that again. This is better. They're not looking at you, and it is an off angle. And now you didn't do this on purpose. You didn't run to an off angle. But your Moira being here, by the way, this is a quick note. Moira players get utility. I mean, it's not technically utility, but they distract attention. Good Moira players, at least. I don't know if this one's doing it on purpose, but it creates an off angle for you. So actually, your Moira's on the off angle. You're on the main angle, but they're all focusing on the off angle, which lets you literally just firing range these players. You're just sitting down range, pumping lead into them. And this is what you could be doing. You could be that Moira, not in that position, right? That's not a good position for Soldier. You want to be on the high ground, on the off angle. But you could be like this Moira. You could take the attention off of your team to where your team could just insta-kill them. Or if they look at your team, you can just free spray on them. It's so strong. It's so powerful. Nice try, but I just want you to go to the point, right? If you die here, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting your team's time. You need to get to the point. They left. It's time to go to the point. Okay, we're a little slow to the point, but our whole team is, and it's better to stay with your team. We have Visor here. Let's see if we make better use of it this time. Good heal. Dropping the heal in there is good to try and get your health back before you get slammed, and then running out, nothing to say. Alright. What do you think I'm going to say about the ult? Good, bad, somewhere in between, right? Here's what I'm going to say. And I think high ranked players are going to see this coming. But this is even the fact that you're not really being focused. You have a Mercy Beam. This is not a good ult. And why might I say that? Well, you have 2 primary groups of targets here. You have the tank, that's your group 1, that's the group you're focusing on, obviously. And then you have the characters in the graph. And the thing is that you shouldn't really be missing on either of them. If they're in a graph, they're literally not moving. I mean, I would love for you to shoot the graph here instead of the tank. I know the tank is pressuring your Mercy, but these kills are more important right now. If you kill these players, this player's not going to get healed. Easy kills. So you could at least turn and shoot a Helix, but you're not going to miss the players in a graph. And you're likely not going to miss very many bullets on this tank. And even if you do miss a couple bullets, you know, it's not going to be the difference between killing them and not killing them. This is a tank. They have defensive cooldowns. They have armor. They have a lot of health. They probably have supports. You don't need to aimbot the tank. You want to aimbot the squishies, and all the squishies are in a graph. So this is kind of a wasted ult. And you get the kill, right? But you're getting that kill either way. I gotta say, you're getting that kill either way. Also, I don't know why I need to point this out, but we don't really know what a Junkrat trap looks like. You're gonna want to figure that out because that will bite you, right? Junkrat trap on our screen. We see it, right? So let's make sure we're looking out for those. You know, we don't want to give the enemy team free kills. All right, we wasted our heal again. I think we've wasted more heals than we've used good ones. And again, I'm not trying to rag on you. I'm just trying to point this out so that you can fix it in the future. Nice, that was good. I mean, your Junkrat got the kill, but you were in there helping. We waste our heal again. I know we were low, but we're not in danger right now, right? We can get to cover. We had Zarya bubble, and we have Mercy pocket. We're not going to die there. We don't need to heal. This is our job. Yes, perfect. Every time there's a tire, it's your job as Hitscan to shoot it. You have to shoot it. That was awesome. Keep doing that. Go for Helix. Go for Helix. Yep. I'd like you to try that a little bit earlier, but that was still fine. And again, we're too close here. We can be farther. We can be up here, right? We can be back here. I don't know. Anywhere that's not in the Zarya's beam range. Yep. We are way too close. Way too close. We don't need to be here. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Another unnecessary death. And you're the... Are you the first one dead? I think you're the first one dead. You're not the first one dead. Your Junkrat was. You're the second one dead. You don't... You know, this may even feel like an unavoidable death to you, but it's not. If you were just back... You know, the whole fight, if you just played on these stairs, when he pops Visor, you can get the cover. But instead, you played literally right here. Of course you're gonna die. Of course you're gonna die. How would you not die? And in higher ranks, you're gonna die instantly in this position, basically. So you have to fix this. But it's good for you that it's such an easy fix. Stand farther back. Stand on the high ground. Use cover. It's so simple. And once you do it, you are going to notice how much easier it is to get kills. How much easier it is to survive, how much more value you're gonna get. Awesome. Too close, way too close. Stand back, man. You don't have to be in his beam range. Take a step back. Looks like you guys are gonna win this. I don't hate the Visor because this is last fight, but again, they're in grab. You don't really, but it's not bad. I mean, last fight, you just want to get these kills. You want to make sure they die. So this is okay. And you know, for Silver, I feel like this was a good game for you, but I do feel like this is Silver gameplay. This is Silver, right? I mean, we don't know how to use cover at all. We don't know how to position. Right, we're never on the high ground. We're never on the off angle. We waste our heal literally on cooldown. We don't use our helix as much as we need to. And that's okay. Those are all things you can improve on. But I feel like you're correct. Right now, you're at the correct rank. And you need to improve on these things before you're going to be able to climb. What I want you to work on is just the same stuff I've been talking about, right? Focus on using high ground. Pretty much on every DPS. Most, you know, hit scans are really going to love it, but high grounds. Off angles, which just means you're shooting from a different angle that your team is at. So if your team is fighting them in one place, you want to be in a different place as long as you can get healed in that place. So like when you have a mercy pocketing you, you can get away with a lot more. So be on the high ground, be on the off angle, don't slide into the enemy team. You know, if you're on Soldier, you don't need to be in her beam range. Use your heal when you're getting pressured. I mean, so much stuff for you to work on, and it's good. It means that you're going to be able to climb a lot once you work on these things. Whereas some people maybe have less things to work on and it's harder for them to climb. So overall, this is one of the replays that I feel like we can just learn the most from. Like, you're gonna be able to improve so much. And if you fix just your positioning, right, and not worry about anything else, even if you still waste all these cooldowns, if you just fix your positioning, you can easily climb into gold. Easily. And if you get really good at positioning, you can get to plat by just your positioning without fixing your aim, without fixing your cooldowns, just using high ground and off angles. So that's what I want you to work on. Overall, was a good game for you. You did a lot of work. I'm sure your damage was crazy. I got this code from my Discord. If you want to get your VOD reviewed, all you have to do is join my Discord. The link is in the description, and submit a VOD review request in the correct channel. And I'll get around to all those VODs eventually, although we do have a new patch coming, I think early next week. So codes are going to reset and I'm going to need new ones after that. That's all I have. I hope you enjoyed, but more importantly, I hope you learned something today. See you in the next one.